Before this point in the book, Holden has been fearing growing up ever since he lost his brother Allie to leukemia. He does not want to have to face the real world and continues to get kicked out of schools due to laziness and failing his classes, even though he's very smart. In his life, he is beginning to accept actually growing up. I'm too big, she said. I thought she wasn't going to answer me, but she did. No, you're not. Go on, I'll wait for you. Go on, I said. We were right there then. On page 231. Even though he won't let Phoebe grow up and lose her innocence, Holden is coming to terms that he's finally old enough to let go and see he is growing up. Holden officially decided he's not going to run away and will stay with his family. Did you mean it, what you said? You really aren't going away anymore? Are you really going home afterwards, she asked me. Yeah, I said. I meant it too. I wasn't lying to her. I really did go home afterwards. From page 233. Phoebe put his hunting hat back on his head, which makes him feel safe. He discovered that it's okay to grow up, which is shown in the quote. There were a few kids riding on it, mostly very little kids, and a few parents were waiting around the outside, sitting on the benches and all, from page 231. Even though Holden sees that his parents are waiting outside and the innocent children are riding, he still chooses to sit on the benches and to let go of his innocence that he's been trying to keep so close to him. It's a big step for Holden to allow Phoebe to reach for the gold ring since she might get hurt, and all the kids kept trying to grab for the gold ring, and so was old Phoebe, and I was sort of afraid she'd fall off the goddamn horse, but I didn't say anything or do anything. The thing with kids is, if they really want to grab for the gold ring, you have to let them do it and not say anything. If they fall off, they fall off, but it's bad if you say anything to them, from page 232. He sees that even Phoebe will get hurt at some point, but that's all part of learning to grow up. Holden's now 17, looking back on when he was 16. So far, especially after he lost his brother Allie to leukemia and his older brother DB left to be a sellout, he's been pushing his family and friends away as he's been kicked out of school after school for failing classes. All the girls Holden's ever felt close to have also left him, even the love of his life, Jane, whom he spent the summer with, which is shown all through chapter 11. This moment's one of the very few times Holden actually says he's happy. I felt so damn happy all of a sudden, the way old Phoebe kept going around and around. I was damn near bawling, which is on page 233. As Holden transitions, he finally feels happy and content in his own life and growing up. Even though he knows he has to grow up, he has to come to accept it and wishes you could have been there, on page 234.
Here, wait a sec. Take the rest of your dough. You keep it. Keep it for me. Please?
That's depressing when someone says please to you. I mean, if it's Phoebe or somebody, that depressed the hell out of me, but I put the dough back in my pocket.
Aren't you gonna ride too?
She was looking at me sort of funny. You could tell she wasn't too sore at me anymore.
Maybe I will next time. I think I'll just watch you. Got your ticket? Yes. Alright, I'll be on the bench over here.
All the kids kept trying to grab for the gold ring, and so was old Phoebe, and I was sort of afraid she'd fall off the goddamn horse, but I didn't say anything or do anything. The thing with kids is, if they want to grab the gold ring, you have to let them do it, and not say anything. If they fall off, but it's bad if you say anything to them.
You're right once too this time. No, I'll just watch. I'll just watch. Here's some dough to buy some more tickets. I'm not mad at you anymore. I know. Now hurry up. The thing's about to start. It's raining. It's starting to rain. Don't you want it? You can wear it a while. Okay, now hurry up though. You're gonna miss your ride and you won't get your own horse or anything. Did you mean what you said? Like you're not going anywhere? You're coming home after this? Yeah.
I meant it too. I wasn't lying to her. I really did go home afterwards.
Hurry up now. The thing's gonna start.
Boy, it began raining like a bastard. In buckets, I swear to God. All the parents and mothers and everybody went over and stood right under the roof of the carousel so they wouldn't get soaked to the skin or anything. But I stuck around on the bench for quite a while. I got pretty soaking wet. My hunting hat really gave me quite a lot of protection in a way, but I got soaked anyways. I didn't care though. I felt so damn happy all of a sudden. The way old Phoebe kept going around and around, I was damn near bawling. I felt so damn happy. If you want to know the truth, I don't know why. It was just that she looked so damn nice, the way she kept going around and around in her blue coat and all. God, I wish she could have been there. The author uses consonants on page 211 with a big brown beat-up looking old horse. The repetition of the BBB focuses on such an acute detail, showing how Holden is really focused on the moment. The speed of the tempo breaks up the flow of the sentence and gives the reader hints of a depressing undertone and mood. The broken up sound of the BBB and big brown beat-up looking old horse is choppy and gloomy, considering that most people look at the carousel as a happy, easy-going childhood experience, and how it's giving everyone there a sense of happiness, but it doesn't seem to have the same effect on him, since the carousel is a symbol of childhood and innocence. A professional actor would read the passage at a slower, more monotone rate that allows the words to flow off of his tongue, with breaks with more passion behind them when he is saying them. They would fluctuate his voice more when he is talking. Two were about Phoebe, to show how he has a gloomy outlook on the situation, but then also showing how Phoebe is someone who makes him happy and he feels that she is important. The reader should also portray the same hatred he has towards the rest of the world, but then only showing positive thoughts about his sister. The shift in tempo occurs when Holden is talking about Phoebe. He speeds up in tempo and has a higher voice and a happier tone to signify his deep caring for her and how his thoughts about her are so much better than his thoughts about the rest of the world.
Some repeating motifs, images, words, and phrases in this section of the book are the gold ring on the carousel, which represents overcoming fear and risks in order to pursue goals, hopes, and dreams. Then the carousel started, and I watched her go round and round. All the kids tried to grab for the gold ring, and so was old Phoebe, and I was sort of afraid she'd fall off the goddamn horse. But I didn't say or do anything. The thing with kids is, if they want to grab for the gold ring, you have to let them do it, and not say anything. If they fall off, they fall off, but it is bad to say anything to them. The gold ring hangs on the outer edge of the carousel, and children riding on the horses have to reach out and grab it in order to win a prize, while risking falling off. Another example for this is the carousel. The carousel represents innocence and happiness. Watching Phoebe on the carousel made Holden so happy he was damn near bawling. Holden discovers the simplicity and happiness of a child as he watches Phoebe go around on the carousel. The scene paints a picture of innocence within a child who has not yet faced growing up and finds joy in the small things in life. Another example is the song playing on the carousel, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. This is an example of symbolism because it symbolizes how kids are blind to the struggles of adulthood. Lastly, a motif that takes place in this section is the red hunting hat. It is a motif for Holden's uniqueness and individuality. The hat is very distinct, which shows Holden's desire to be different from everyone else. However, at the same time, the hat makes him feel self-conscious when wearing the hat, as mentioned when he wears the hat. He often doesn't wear it if he is going to be around people he knows. The presence of the hat therefore mirrors the central conflict in the book, Holden's need for isolation versus his need for companionship. The color of the hat, which is red, plays an important role in this section because it is the same color as Allie's and Phoebe's hair, which is associated with innocence and purity. This passage employs polysyndeton in the sentence structure of this passage. The use of conjunctions or connecting words frequently used in a sentence placed very close to one another. An example of this is on page 211 when all the kids kept trying to grab the gold ring, and so was old Phoebe, and I was sort of afraid she'd fall off the goddamn horse, but I didn't say or do anything. The use of polysyndeton added a dramatic effect which is reinforced by the strong rhetorical presence. Another thing that is employed in the sentence structure is simple sentences, like on page 212, I gave her some more dough, and I really did go home afterwards. These use of simple sentences allow the reader to focus on the meaning and context of the sentence.